See that? Yeah. Good boy.
This is my favorite manager.
Listen, man.
Man.
You all right?
Yeah, you know.
Anything to tell me? I just got a call from the label.
Yeah.
TMZ said you was at the hospital or something. You look all right to me.
Yeah, you know.
We ain't got no more problems, do we?
Nah, you know, regular. Same.
Yeah, I'm about to go eavesdrop, Mike. I'm not scared.
What's the TMZ is calling because you at the hospital. Not for real, there's some shit going on. I need to know.
I got a little cut right there.
Oh, shit.
Little cut.
Yo, well, you didn't get that stitched up?
They was talking about staples. I was like, no.
Oh, okay.
I'm getting no staples.
So,
well, you mentioned Blueface. New photos have come out with Blueface. He looks a little heavier. Looks like he's gaining a little bit of weight.
Man, they tell me, nephew tell me 215. I'm like, no, I need you back. I'm used to nephew like 165.
Right, because he was skinny before.
Man, listen.
How tall is he?
About 6'2".
Okay, so like my height.
Yeah,
Okay.
but his swag is he gotta come down at least to 185.
Gotta lose some weight.
A little bit. You know, and he will once he get out, start training, because we got boxing matches set up.
What's the date?
Well, that's the thing. And you know, you gotta remember his original date was March of 2024. Then it went to July 2024. Then he got caught with something in there. Then it went to June 2025. So it's kind of like in California State Prison. I can say he's scheduled to come home this year, but you're not out till you're out. Now, he's finally on the stable yard. Come on, you move it around so many places, you don't know if you're gonna get over here. You gotta, this dude did something, it's a ride going on. He's on the stable yard where people have gotten to know him, you know what I mean, where he has his program. So we looking forward to him coming home this year.
Hey, bro.
I manage all the homes. My artist is on the way. She knows exactly, but I do all the finance and I manage. I'm here on the
I'm done with this.
What's up with you though? You really going for this?
My manager.
It's fine. That doesn't mean anything.
Well, when does it get out, man? Because I know, you know, the internet is definitely not as exciting as it was when Blueface was out here.
He's scheduled for this year. I don't like to give dates because I'm an ex-convict, and it's like you give a date, it's like jinxing somebody. And one thing about our prison system, you ain't out until you out that gate. Tory Lanez, he damn near didn't make it out. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, I just seen cats a day before catch a year. Or that morning get unalived. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you ain't out till you out. So, this is what we do know: August, September, October, November, December. The worst case is 150 days. So between now and 150 days, the return to Blueface will be here.
Well, that's what's up, man.
If I got a prediction, what is this, August? Nephew come home like November. If it's still floating right before Thanksgiving, mid-November, top of November, she'll turn the dagger on him.
Wait, who'll turn the dagger?
Bino gonna find out what it is.
Oh.
You know, I hope nephew.
You think she's just gathering information from Blueface?
No, I just think she's intentionally trying to do something to bother him.
She's on a fact-finding mission. Why would Bino's a small fish to him, right?
Closer
Like, you don't really even give a fuck.
The closer he gets to coming home, she's gonna want to make her move to going back home.
Okay.
I don't think Soulja Boy get in the ring with Blueface.
Blueface is too big, size-wise. Like, Blueface, it's funny, right?
Chris Brown was shit.
Yeah, but he wasn't as bulky as Blueface. Blueface is tall and heavy. How tall is Chris Brown?
I want to say he got to be about 5'11".
He's 6'1".
6'1".
Blueface is like what, 6'4"?
Might be 6'3", 6'2".
No, he's not 6'2". I'm 6'2", and me next to him, he's like 2 inches higher.
He's taller than you, that much taller than you?
Yeah, like look at the picture. 6'4". There we go.
So,
6'4". Yeah, 2 inches.
I ain't
There.
gonna
Makes more
lie.
sense.
Nephew got hands.
Who?
He can box. Blueface could box. And he's a thinker, he's athletic. I think if you put the right amount of money in front of Soulja Boy,
Oh, absolutely.
he don't care.
Some artists fall off because the music stops hitting. Others fall off because the industry quietly drains them dry while everyone's distracted by the drama. And then there's Blueface, a case study in how a viral moment can turn into a financial nightmare when the wrong person gets control. This isn't just about bad decisions. This is about manipulation, power imbalance, and one of the clearest examples of how young artists get trapped in deals that look like opportunity but function like cages. And at the center of it all is Wack100, a man who didn't just manage Blueface, but positioned himself to profit from him at every possible angle. To understand how this happened, you have to go back to the beginning, before the viral clips, before the platinum plaques, before the reality show chaos. Blueface was just a young dude from Los Angeles, deep in street life, not thinking about contracts, percentages, or long-term planning. Music wasn't even a calculated move. It was something he did, and somehow it worked. When Thotiana blew up, it didn't just go viral, it exploded. Suddenly, Blueface was everywhere. Clubs, radios, social media, labels calling nonstop. And that kind of overnight attention is dangerous when you don't know how the business works, because when the money starts moving fast, predators start moving faster. Blueface had no lawyer, no experienced manager, no team. He was booking his own shows, shooting his own videos, handling his own moves. That independence looked strong on the surface, but underneath it made him vulnerable. He didn't know what questions to ask. He didn't know what was normal, and he didn't know how badly things could go if he trusted the wrong person. That's when Wack100 entered the picture. Wack wasn't some unknown industry guy. He had a reputation, loud, aggressive, controversial, a man who mixed street credibility with music business access. He'd been around artists like The Game and Ray J. He knew how to talk. More importantly, he knew how to position himself as the answer to chaos. According to Blueface, Wack didn't come in slowly. He pressed. Constant calls, constant invitations, trying to get a meeting at his house. Blueface hesitated at first, and for good reason. When you look Wack up, controversy follows. Arguments, threats, headlines. That alone made Blueface uncomfortable. But pressure works, especially when someone flashes success. Eventually, Wack sent a car. Blueface went to his house. And the moment he walked in, the trap was already set. Big mansion, wealth on display. The message was silent but clear. This is where you could be. That's how psychological leverage works. You don't convince someone with numbers. You convince them with visuals. What Blueface didn't know was that Wack already had paperwork ready. A contract prepared before real negotiations even started. That's not normal. That's not how fair deals begin. That's how urgency is manufactured. It creates the feeling that everything is already in motion and you're just catching up. Here's where things crossed from questionable into dangerous. Blueface didn't call a lawyer. He didn't ask for time. He didn't shop the deal. Instead, he asked Wack's wife a question that would later haunt him. He asked if she would recommend the deal to her own son. She said yes. That was the moment Blueface decided to sign. No legal advice, no contract breakdown, no independent review, just trust. And in the music business, trust without verification is expensive. What Blueface didn't understand is that the deal he signed wasn't a simple management agreement. It wasn't just a record deal either. It was both, combined, controlled by the same person. This is what people mean when they say double dipping. Label, Wack's side takes a large chunk right off the top, around half of the music revenue, sometimes more depending on recoupment. That alone is standard in many deals, even if it's already controversial. But then comes the second cut. As Blueface's manager, Wack takes a percentage of what Blueface earns. Usually management fees range from 15 to 20%. That's normal when the manager works for the artist. The problem is that Wack wasn't just managing Blueface, he was also the one paying him. So after the label cut, Wack still reached into the remaining money and took another slice. When you add it all up, Blueface was left with roughly 30% of what his own work generated. Think about that. Blueface makes the music. Blueface does the shows. Blueface takes the public heat. But most of the money flows somewhere else. This is why DJ Academics called it out publicly. He broke down the math and said exactly what it was: a finesse hiding in plain sight. A setup that benefits one side massively while locking the other into long-term dependency. And the damage didn't show immediately. At first, Blueface was still making money. Shows were coming in, the buzz was hot. That's how these deals survive scrutiny. They work just enough early on to keep the artist quiet. But time exposes everything. Legal issues slowed Blueface down. Jail time stopped the income flow. Suddenly, the reality of the deal became clear. When the work stops, the money stops. And when you've only been keeping a small slice all along, there's nothing safe to fall back on. Reports started circulating that Blueface came home broke. Not struggling in a dramatic sense, but struggling in a way that didn't match his past success. Businesses weren't moving the way people expected. Assets were reportedly being sold. The image didn't line up with the plaques. Meanwhile, Wack100 was still good. That's the quiet part of these deals. The manager doesn't stop eating when the artist stumbles. The contract keeps working. Royalties keep flowing. Percentages don't change just because the artist's life does. From Wack's perspective, he might argue that he earned his cut, that he helped Blueface navigate the industry, that without him, Blueface wouldn't have reached the same level. And maybe there's truth in that, but here's the real issue. A manager's job is to protect the artist's interests, to negotiate against labels, to reduce exploitation, not to be the label and the manager at the same time. That's a conflict of interest by design. When one person controls your income, your opportunities, and your contracts, that's not partnership. That's ownership. This situation isn't unique to Blueface. It's just more visible. The music industry has a long history of experienced players preying on young talent. They use mentorship language, father figure energy, street respect, flashy lifestyles, and they push urgency so the artist doesn't slow down and ask questions. The biggest red flags were there from day one. A contract prepared before discussions, no lawyer encouraged, combined roles, emotional validation instead of legal clarity. Each one alone is risky. Together, they're deadly. The worst part is how hard these deals are to escape. Breaking a contract like this usually requires money the artist doesn't have. Legal fees, buyouts, penalties. Sometimes the artist owes more than they've ever earned. That's how the system traps people. It doesn't need physical chains. Paperwork is enough. Psychologically, this kind of situation can crush motivation. Imagine knowing that most of what you earn won't stay with you, that no matter how hard you work, the math doesn't change. It's hard to stay creative when the reward feels stolen before it arrives. It also affects legacy. Blueface should have been building wealth, investing, creating security for his family. Instead, his biggest financial lesson came after the money slowed down. And that's usually too late. The industry doesn't talk enough about education. Young artists are thrown into complex deals without understanding basic terms, percentages, recoupment, ownership, duration. These aren't small details. They decide who wins long after the hype fades. If Blueface had taken one simple step, this story might have been different. A lawyer, an independent one, someone with no emotional attachment, someone paid to say no when something looks off. That's the lesson here. Trust is not protection. Success doesn't equal safety. And if someone is rushing you to sign, it's usually because time helps them, not you. For other artists watching this unfold, the message is clear. Learn the business or pay for someone who already has. Ask uncomfortable questions. Slow the process down. Real opportunities don't disappear overnight. As for Blueface, his situation is still unfolding. Contracts like this don't end quietly. They linger, they shape careers long after the spotlight moves on. This isn't about calling anyone evil, it's about understanding power. And in this case, the power imbalance was extreme. One side had experience, leverage, and control. The other had talent, momentum, and trust. History shows which side usually walks away richer. So let this be a warning, not just a story. If you're an artist, your biggest enemy isn't always the streets or the internet. Sometimes it's the contract you didn't read because someone told you everything would be fine. Let me know what you think. Was this smart business or straight exploitation? Should deals like this even be allowed? And how many other artists are stuck in similar situations we never hear about? Drop your thoughts in the comments. If this breakdown helped you understand the industry better, hit like and subscribe for more real stories behind the music.